go. Alright. Awesome. Cool. Everything is up and active. It should be functioning as intended. That is the goal. There we go. Alright, let's take a look here. Let's see what's all happening. Time to continue forward with what I've been doing. Get some more shit done. Would die, so I gotta teleport back. Don't think I need any more of the blocks, so I think I can just convert these all straight over to dye, and I don't have to worry about it. Alright, cool. I'll just convert them now, and then I'm good. Let's go ahead and see what's next. I'm just grinding for stuff. So currently my goal in this, for anybody that wants to tune in at some point, if at any point they'd like to view this section, my goal for context of what I'm doing here is I am trying to get set up with a farm, currently setting up a villager mall, because unfortunately I do not have the space elsewhere to deal with that. So I'm just setting up a mall just so I can have my own little space that I can do whatever I want with villagers, whether that means converting them back and forth from zombie villagers to regular, pretty much just kind of going through and setting them up to be super cheap to buy from. So that way I can spend very minimal amounts of supplies buying or selling to them. That's the goal. So far it's pretty far along. Essentially you'll end up be joining in at a later point as I go through this. I've already gone through and created tons of shit, so that's part of it. One of those things being this, a nice little farm here. Looks like it's still filling up. Yeah, still filling up with arrows, which I'll have to just chuck into the lava pits of hell because I can't do anything with arrows. I have a bow, but it has infinity, so it doesn't matter. I don't need arrows. So yeah, that's kind of useless, but that's okay. But so far, a pretty nice thing going. I'll have to revamp this at some point. It doesn't have enough storage to it. So unfortunately, without having this extra storage, I have like 3 layers of storage, which is not bad by any means. It works, and it's fine for the time being, but I'll absolutely go through it. I'm already about to go through it with just arrows alone, and I know that if I keep grinding these guys out the way that I'm grinding them, it's going to end up being a lot of arrows that I don't need. I really have nothing to do with. I don't think I can sell them to any villagers, so I don't actually have a use for the arrows. I think I kind of just have to throw them out, because I have already one double chest filled with them at here, one double chest filled at back at base. I don't think I have anything I can do with these boys. I'll just snag as many as I can and bring them back, and maybe I have space for them. If not, I'll just chuck them. Bones, I'm happy to get as many bones as fucking possible because I'm going to go through them like candy. I already have been, so. Let's go back to base. Hey, level 69, nice. And gonna keep on keeping on. For anyone that's curious, first off, FPS here is going to drop heavily because unfortunately my area is packed with things that I built already. As I played throughout this server, I didn't really consider recording this or streaming this. I never really thought about it today. I just felt like streaming, so I figured, hey, might as well throw out some kind of information for people. You know, if anyone wants to follow along, they can, while I'm just having fun, enjoying what I'm doing. But so far, I've actually created a nice space here. At least for myself, I have created a few sections. We'll see my storage area here in a second. It's more of a temporary storage because my house storage just wasn't enough. I've done a decent job giving a lot of storage space, but it just is not enough. Even adding in this extra little add-on back here with the auto smelters, it still is not enough space. So I had to create a whole other section over here that's just filled with chests. Not to the roof. I still have extra places to put more chests if I need to, but I don't think I'm going to end up using up all that space before I end up going to my main section, which is what this whole stream, I guess, is kind of about. It's more what I'm doing on the server. It's my major project that I'm working on and trying to work towards. I guess I'll do a quick little house tour and just kind of show off what I've done so far, and then I'll get over to some of the other areas. So out front here, there's like a few different mods that we're playing with. So, you know, we have a few different options. For example, I have wings that are permanently attached. So it's like an elytra, but, you know, I don't have to worry about getting it back if I die, which I die often because, you know, it's fall damage is pretty easy to accidentally hit yourself with, even with feather falling. As you can see, I've already got a whole kit loaded out, got a bunch of good stuff that I use, and I'm pretty much set in that respect. I'll actually go ahead and put this back. But showing off this house, one of the first areas is this out front area. It was one of the first places I did a little sugarcane farm just to test and see if it was worth at all, like, diving into this as a resource. And it wasn't. It really wasn't. This thing produces barely any sugarcane. This has been sitting here for like days, and it's produced this amount with probably like a good, I'd like to say, 8-hour plus playtime. It's produced like this much, which is really pathetic. It's okay. I mean, it's not bad if you don't need sugarcane. Like, literally, if you can just let it sit there for a long period of time, you'll get a decent amount. It's not terrible. So it's an okay one, but it was a test. It was just to see what works, what doesn't. Short, sweet. Takes like observer, a few pistons, and redstone. So simple. Going on here, I have a little pond for the axolotls. I ended up getting them extra early because when I first dug my mine here, they were just sitting in here in the water. So I was like, oh, I gotta go get the axolotls. So I brought them back up and made a little space for them, and I've just had them there ever since, and they've been building up, and I've been getting more of them. At this point, the XP farm that I just started this stream out at actually spawns them as well. So if I wanted more, they literally have a spawn for them. Kind of by accident, but I guess it works. Moving on. As you can see, we already defeated the Ender Dragon, got into the end, and all that jazz. That was one of the things that we had accomplished as a group, which was nice. But coming into this house, I kind of just freeformed this design. I didn't actually have any plans in mind whatsoever. I sort of just came in and threw together something. I figured, hey, you know, I want a lot of space for chests. I want some, you know, walking space that's not going to be interrupted. And so I kind of came up with a design that was 50-50, where I kind of got a bit of space where I can move around, and I'm not jumping up and down on chests and things. But at the same time, you know, I can fill it in with extra areas to put storage. So it was a nice house to start with. From there, I kind of just built around it. So I built farm out here, which was awesome. It was a cool little add-on, probably one of my first little favorite add-ons, because I have, you know, my composters. I have my different farms going. Started out with, I think, with a potato farm, nice and simple, and then I had switched up to a carrot farm so I could do golden carrots, and yeah, it's been working really, really well. It definitely supplies me more than I need. Not same as like a villager farm, but it's fine. In terms of wheat, I had to get that going because when I built the house, I figured I'm going to be running 2 farms. One has to be a wheat farm because I'm going to be doing beef, mainly because of their leather, specifically for item frames. So since I knew I had to do a cow farm, I figured it's time to just set up this early on and just start piling up the wheat as I go. I also added an additional wheat farm there that has just a few rows, like 2 rows of wheat. So that way if I need any extra, it's there. But realistically, this is actually plenty for what I use currently, because I don't really end up using up a lot. You'll see I have my upstairs area here as well. Basically, I just have a few few things going, just a few chests for myself, and then a lot of open space that I just haven't used, which is fine. I don't really need to. I like have other places to put things, so I'm not worried about it at all. But anyways, yeah, this is just a thrown together design, and I actually really like how it turned out. It was pretty cool. Back here, once again, you'll see my storage system in place for just my other things that I knew I was going to get at least a decent amount of. So it was best to have storage for them. Gosh, especially gunpowder and like bones and things. I can gather those up from farms all the time, so getting the storage space is nice. You'll see I have these auto cookers here. These are my two main ones that I used to use. If I'm putting in like an item or two or something small, I'll still use these, but very rarely do I actually end up using them for what I end up bringing back majority of the time. Fuel cooker, so that way I can cook up some charcoal if I need it. I have my tree farms going, so you know, if I ever need to get some, I just throw the wood in there, let it cook through, and recycle it. It's pretty nice. Let's see, going back here, one of the things you'll actually see up top is this chest, and what that does is that leads down here to my composter, and then here to the chest, so I can get the composted bone meal, which was really nice because I already went through and made bone blocks out of everything I had in there, and it helps me with any extra tree saplings, because as you see, I'm already almost filling up that one, as well as the wheat farm, the seeds, getting them and throwing them in there. The wood farms here, they're pretty nice. These trees, I believe, are modded. They're the Traverse. And the fir trees are really nice. They drop a lot of wood in a very small amount of space. So they're really nice. You'll see I also went with the dark oak. That's because I'm actually gonna be building even more with dark oak as I move forward with the auto sorting system. So I had to start at least gathering it in some form or fashion, so I built some trees around here. This is actually one of my favorite builds. It is the gumball machine, my cow gumball machine. So if I ever need, you know, some cows, because I'm running low on beef, then all I gotta do is press the button. They start doing their thing. I come up here with some wheat, and I breed them. After they're done, drop down the babies, and they all come out the bottom. It's really cool. This has turned out to be one of my favorite builds because it's adorable. It's one of those adorable little builds that I just designed based on an idea of a gumball machine that spits out cows, and it turned out really simple and really awesome. I loved it. Going forward, let's go over to the next closest area. Or, you know what, better yet, I'm going to wrap around. So the wheat farm, we'll just check it out real fast. It's very simple. It's just a simple lever to drop down some of the pistons, let some water flow, and clear out this wheat. Yep, so simple double field of wheat. Over here I have my arena. It was one of the first areas I built to start farming mobs, because at night they would spawn just wherever, and I'd have to chase them down, and in this tall grass, you're always hitting grass when you're trying to fight something like creepers and such. It sucks. So I decided to build a little area that was out and away from the grass, and just easier to fight mobs, so I could get some early rockets, really, to be able to fly around. Over there, that is my mob grinder. It is the one I originally built just off of memory, trying to figure out what's a good way to farm mobs, and it works pretty well. Because of how high up it is, any mobs within your spawn radius of, I believe, 128 blocks, only start spawning in there, because there's nothing else just for them to spawn on. So it works really well, and it actually drops down all varieties of mobs, which is awesome. So it was a really good beginning one to work with, and that was my first farm starting up. It had problems. For example, sometimes people would go up there, and if anyone was in this area at all, then it just wouldn't work, wouldn't function. So it had its issues, but it's pretty neat. I don't really use it anymore. Kind of just leave it there. Following my path, though, up into here, this is my storage chest. Currently, this is where I store everything. I really have not used up these chests, and I have a lot more space available to be used, so that's nice. Because I definitely will fill it up over time. But I've kind of auto-sorted everything into its, or I've kind of sorted everything into its own sections, which is awesome. It just lets me find everything a lot easier. Each thing is sorted in different ways. Like, for example, these are ores, so I sorted these by ores. That's kind of simple. Bob drops is next. On this side, I sorted things by man-made objects, or things that I've created. And then, of course, moving on to blocks, so things that I could use to create things with. This kind of gets a little bit weird. It's just like weaponry would be the next section, and like armor and horse gear, so animal saddles, and yeah. These are going to be building blocks, so these are the materials that I would need to build my large scale, to build up my large scale auto sorter. That one's going to be still a massive project because I've started it, but I have a long way to go. So let's move on from that. That's not really much to see there. It's just basic sorting done like that. Over here I have my sheep farm if I ever need wool. So far I haven't, so I've just kind of left them as is. I've used wool a little bit, so they're nice to have, but I haven't needed any specific colors or anything. I know I will eventually, so it's a nice to have. Over here, the chicken farm, nice and loud. Have a bunch of eggs. This is really just for the feathers, honestly. I really could care less for the rest of the materials. The eggs are nice, I guess, but I don't really need the cooked chicken at all. I have the beef, so I just put up four different chicken spawners to farm out their feathers a bit quicker, and then they're also dropping feathers with eggs, so works for me. Coming over here, probably one of my more useful builds, and this one definitely took me a while. I had to revamp it a few times because I just couldn't get it right. So the design isn't beautiful, but this is my auto smelter. It sometimes freezes up a little bit, and these carts I believe are probably frozen. Yeah, they are. So I will probably have to go through and revamp these the next time I go through, but whatever. Essentially this one, you put something in this chest, or this chest, and then you wait for it, and it'll come out that middle chest. But I'm going to show the actual guts of it, what actually happens. So on the bottom floor, this is where all of my smelters are. This is about 32 smelters, I believe. 16. So it just runs the carts over these, and it drops items through pretty evenly. So it spreads it out very evenly to each of these. So those start smelting. Once those start getting going, then it's off to the races from there. We have some chests to help with my storage because unfortunately my bamboo, it fills these up really fast, and that can cause my farms to get a little overloaded. So I have to, from time to time, revamp this section because, yeah, it just needs more storage desperately. In the middle, we have these carts, so anything that has been smelted goes into these carts, goes down from the bottom and up here, and it stops here until it drops all the items in the chest, and that just pulls it all the way down and through to that chest that was our output. Way to get your items. Going up to the top here, I'll go ahead and show off that. And I can assume that I have the lights on because they don't seem to be running at this time, which is fine. I don't really need them to be. Let's see. Do I have the lights on? I do not. What caused them to stop then? I'll have to check into that. But yeah, so this is my flying machines. I just launch them. They go through. They clear out everything. Once the bamboo falls, it's sucked up by the carts down below. Those hopper mine carts are just running on trails. We have, 6 hopper mine carts for this set, and 6 more for this set. And they just run and they come back and drop any of their items down there. So at this point, they're just kind of doing their own thing until they get some items in them. I can leave that be. Moving forward, coming over here, you'll see that I have a little bee setup. So this is my little breeding area. If I wanted to breed bees, it's a nice way to kind of control that and then set up a little hive for them to go in, so that way I can collect them easily. I haven't used this too much. I've used it a little bit to get this set up, but other than that, I haven't used it too much. So this is my bee farm. This is where I'm farming out all of the goods. So tons of bottles of honey. I think I have about 40 bees and 40 farms, or 40 hives in total. So these are the regular hives on the left, and these are my man-made hives on the right. And this just kind of lets me go through and get lots of honey, and that's going to be useful in my auto-sorting system. So I've just been building up and collecting that, which has been quite nice. I'll go ahead and sleep real fast. And then we're going to move on to the next one. And this kind of inspired me on how I wanted to build the auto smelter, in terms of at least the bamboo top half. This sort of was my inspiration for what I wanted to do, because I knew flying machines were going to be useful. But I personally am very new to endgame. I have never really played endgame Minecraft, and I don't really know the massive farms and how to create them and what to do, things like that. So this is my first dive into it. And I think I've done a pretty good job, at least here. So these are flying machines once again. And these flying machines go over sugarcane, so same thing as like bamboo farm. This one I personally love what I did with the design. Over here I went ahead and did like a little pixel art on top. That was actually my first time doing pixel art, and it turned out pretty good. If I fly over it, you can tell what kind of farm it is pretty easily. So overall, I really like how this one turned out. It was fun. Really good build. And it produces a crazy amount. I haven't been here often, so really they haven't been able to produce too much. But this thing basically just hammers away at production. Except when it's stopped. Let's see what's stopping it. Let's see, so you're stopped, and you're stopped. What caused you to stop? I don't know what caused it to stop, so let me go clear that one up. That way that one can start running again. I will take you with me, and let's get that cleared up so it can start doing what it's supposed to do. There we go. Perfect. So now it's doing its thing. Awesome. That makes it much easier for me. I like it when they stop sort of in the middle, because then I could just, break something a lot easier. But, yeah, that works. I still gotta patch those holes so it stops throwing the sugarcane through them and onto these floors down here, but I'll leave that as is for now. It looks like I did it over there. Oh well. So coming over here, it looks like I have my villages set up. Over there is someone else's place, building this on a nice server that we've been enjoying. I have my zombies here. Here we have Tom. And over here, it looks like he wrapped all the way around, so I'm going to have to go for a little bit of a fly. There we go. Over here we have Jerry, and these two guys help me out. So they just go through and kill villagers for me, or realistically have a 50-50 chance of killing a villager, or turning them into a zombie villager. And when they turn them into a zombie villager, of course, that allows me to just go through and convert them back. Once I convert them back, that's where I can just simply get some really nice trades, like this guy, for example. He trades really cheap, which is awesome. And those cheap trades, they come in handy. Same with this guy. This guy's set up to do cheap trades. I haven't upgraded him much, but overall, this has been nice. A little simplistic village. And this is what I'm working with currently for my villagers. I still have a few extra that I can turn into anything I want, but I also know that my needs are going to expand a little bit for what I want, so I'm having to expand the village to a mall size here. But anyways, so this village in particular is pretty good. It's been doing what it's supposed to be, so just nice, easy ways to get a hold of different block types, nice, easy ways to trade and get some additional resources. This right here is a farm, not actually made by me. There was a villager farm that was thrown together by another player on the server, and it's pretty good. It honestly worked pretty well for a while. We ended up accidentally having one of the villagers screw it up, and then there was multiple in a place, and yes, at this point they pushed around carts. We've had a witch spawn, or really one of the guys got converted to a witch. So the top half is all screwed up. Potato farm is screwed up, but the carrot farm below is still producing. It's also producing bread, but hey, still doing its thing. So that's cool and all. Overall, I'm gonna stop using this village eventually because it's not the ideal setup, and I want to get, well, just that, the ideal setup going. So what I have to do next, I'll go ahead and show off the main reason, or main project I've been working on, and this is just what I'm working towards at the moment, so I can't really actively work on it too terribly much, but I'm mainly working towards making it a much easier project to finish. So this is my auto sorting system. I've actually gone through and built about this much, a little bit more, in another server of this building. The benefits of it is that the sorting can be about 100%. You can get it up to 100%. It's very difficult to do so because items in Minecraft like to just go about their own business and skip over things like hoppers, for example. So it's kind of difficult to pull off, but I have some ideas for what I'm going to do for this one to make it work, and possibly just loop the system to make it work better. But essentially, this is just going to be a hallway of chests. And in fact, it's going to be a lot of hallways of chests, specifically 10 hallways per level. So I plan to make this about 4 levels tall. So far, it's pretty massive. I can fly over it in about a rocket, but it's still pretty big. And this is one of my major projects that I'm working on. It's definitely going to take me a long time to finish this one. I expect that it'll probably take me about a month. I don't think I'm going to be getting it finished anytime soon. So I've just been working towards how do I make this process easier, and how am I going to make this process faster. Ways that I can do that, of course, would be like the auto smelter, being able to smelt down my quartz blocks, being able to get a hold of quartz blocks. So, of course, the villager system, being able to trade in large quantities. And that's actually what I'll address next, is trading in large quantities, because that's what I had to address as one of the issues that I've run into. Because that village has a limitation. I can do about 2 stacks of quartz blocks before it's completely out, and I have to wait for them to refresh their trades, and then I have to do it again, and yada yada. Same with trading for emeralds. I have only like a handful of guys that I've converted back and forth from zombie villagers to actual trading. So I have to redo that, and I want to redo the entire system so I'm completely set up. So what I've been doing to redo that system is I've been creating a villager mall. And that's kind of the theming I'm going for, is a mall. However, I've got a ways to go. And that's actually why I was going for white dye, because I've been dyeing terracotta. And I will show you that here in just one moment. And one of the other things is that I've been having to build these far away, at least a decent distance away from my main area, because it was starting to drop my FPS drastically. And the one thing I found with these larger builds is you want to keep them away from compacted areas of other things like farms, because they will start to lag. But this here is the starting of my mall. It's kind of the skeleton of it. What I'm doing is I'm going through here, and I am building out the floors here with cut sandstone. Bone block is like the lining between these areas. And then, of course, the white terracotta is my walls, because it's a nice plain texture. Then of course I'm doing the cut slabs as the roof, so that way I can go through and do multiple layers, make it look a little bit better. And then these blocks right here, the glowing pillar blocks from Better End, as my lighting sources. As you can see, I have these little trading sections set up. So this is where I'm going to store a villager. I'll put them here, and then I'll put their, whatever their job role is, their block, sit down here, right in front of them. So that way they can just grab it, get to work, and have that. In regards to this one, it's still a work in progress, and that's, like I said, that's exactly what I went for, the white terracotta, and trying to make more of it. Because unfortunately I only have about one row of it currently, and I'm going to go through that like candy. So I went through, got some extra dye, and now I can start dyeing my terracotta. So that's nice. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. There we go. Even more of it now. So what I can do with that is go to sleep, so that way I don't get mobs spawning all around me, but I'll hold on to some of this terracotta and I'll just start using it. I'm going to continue this build. My goal tonight is I want to get the framework done for this place. I wanted to start it yesterday and get the flooring done. I didn't get that done, so my goal today is just to get the framework done. Hopefully the first floor, or even just the villager conversion center, because I will have to have a place to convert the villagers to zombies and back. So I will have to start working on that one as well. But I have not finished this, so this is my top priority at the moment, is just finish this. So that's what I've been doing at the moment, is just grinding things out, getting this set up, and finishing what I gotta do. Oh, there actually is one more thing that I'd like to go show off, so I'm going to finish this section here, and then I will go show off one of the other farms. This one is one of the more efficient farms that I've created. I followed a guide so that way I could create it, because it was out of my scope. Like I said, I'm newer to endgame Minecraft, so a little bit out of my scope in terms of what I've accomplished so far. So I definitely went and followed a guide for this, but it was pretty good. Well, I'm happy with how it turned out. It's very useful. And let's get on over to it. I probably need to start setting up some of the teleporters between these sections, so that way I can just instantly teleport. But in all honesty, I don't mind the flying. The flight time is close enough to my main base that it's super easy. It's usually like 1 or 2 rockets, maybe 3. Back and forth from my main auto sorting system over there, and of course the villager mall I've been working on. But let's go ahead and take a look here. I will go and teleport to it. So if I teleport to Gold Farm, and then I just have to leave the game and reconnect. Unfortunately, there's a bug where the elytra, the wings on your back, don't actually function immediately upon changing dimensions. I'm not quite sure why it does this, but essentially you just can't use your flight. Oh, I forgot to bring blocks with me. I wonder if I can turn these into half slabs. Because I wanted to start putting down this block type so I could have some illumination, but that's fine. Okay, so these are still sorting. The carts in this are a little bit annoying, so I'm actually going to turn off the audio real fast, because they're going to get really loud. There you go. So apologies, I'm going to turn that audio down just for a little while to make it a little bit more bearable, because this farm is a little bit loud. So what I have going on here, are they still mad at me? No, good. Okay, cool. What I have going on here is a auto farm for gold. This is gold nuggets, gold swords, rotten flesh, basically gold ingots, all of it, you know, trying to make as much gold as I can, as well as XP. I will say this one I believe was originally designed by Il Mango, and gosh, they did a wonderful job with this. Like, it is a very good design. I did some changes of my own because we're playing on a modded server, so we do deal with these blaze guardians that will basically just blow up and spit fire and really annoying, as well as blazes that will spawn on these. So in terms of the farm itself, I've done a little bit of modifications to what I'm using in order to make it work better. Like, for example, these are all black stones, so that way they don't burn when they get shot at with fire. Same with these. I did trapdoors here instead of doing snow blocks, because unfortunately snow itself will melt when it gets shot by fire, so kind of had to switch that out. But essentially, the way this farm is set up currently, I don't believe these guys are pissed off at me. Yeah, they're fine. Just double checking, because, you know, gotta make sure when I decide to walk into like a whole bunch of them. But essentially this is set up so that way there's glass blocks along the top rim, the top row. There's 4 layers to it. That row does not spawn gas because they would normally spawn, but in this case the glass is stopping them. In terms of these magma blocks, this allows for zombified pigmen to spawn, and it's really nice because these guys are actually super helpful. Can I get one of them? Oh, I don't have my shoes, so if I do that it's gonna hurt. I'll leave it be for now. It'd be annoying to deal with, but I need to get one of them. Oh, he's just going in. Yep, looks like these guys are just jumping in the center to their deaths. That's unfortunate for them. And there's another one. He's just going in. Cool. But yeah, that's what this whole entire farm is. It's basically just these trap doors. That way they'll all jump off their platforms. They come down here. And then, of course, they will come up these stairs and jump right in. I don't want to do that because that will kill me. It looks like a minecart, but as you could kind of hear, it's not just one minecart that's going back and forth. You'll see they're kind of shuffling too. It's about 24 per side. So that way these entities, these guys, will die from damage that is basically the equivalent of falling to your death, but within a smaller space. So it's pretty nice. It gets you XP. It gets you gold. It really gets you set up for some good farming. So let me show an example of it. And it will get loud, but I've turned everything down so that way you don't have to hear it. Because these guys, they like to be loud and proud. So let's start off with the kid, of course. There we go. Nobody saw that? Just me? There we go. That's much better. So what you'll see is these guys will jump down and in, they'll kill themselves, and in the process their XP comes out below because they're dying to basically fall damage, which is really nice. The fact that they're giving XP on top of the amount of gold and gold nuggets they produce, as well as rotten flesh, like, this is a really good farm, and it's going to help a lot with being able to just have a super easy way to sell things and get XP, and oh, it's so nice. But anyways, these guys are auto-aggroed because there's a few guys that you'll see around the map, and then one of them that I accidentally shot off his platform. But essentially those guys will auto-aggro because they're still alive even after the rest of these guys die. So they aggro the alive entities, the live pigmen, as if because they haven't died, so they didn't lose aggro at any point. So that allows them to just continuously aggro their new spawns. So that way they jump down, they jump in these areas and kill themselves trying to get to me, and I get their loot and XP. The main reason for this block standing up here is so that way they have line of sight with me, because if they have line of sight, they can be like, oh, I hate you. And if they don't have line of sight, well, they can't do that. So it'll start to slow down. I'll go ahead and stop it, actually. So if I stand down here, it'll still draw some aggro, because people will still be pissed. But if I stand down here long enough, eventually their aggro will stop, because there's no line of sight. So the other guys on the further platforms will have a troubling time trying to see me. It's probably going to take a while for it to stop, so while they kind of go through their phases. Oh, actually, my bad. These babies are probably going to keep aggro because they have line of sight. Yeah, they're probably going to keep aggro, so that'll just keep going. So I'll go down here. Come on, XP. You could do it. There we go. I think they're pretty much... Yep, seems like they're pretty much done at this point. Awesome. But yeah, so that's that farm. It's pretty nice. Anything that comes down here will get auto-sorted. So we have rotten flesh, we have gold nuggets, gold ingots, and then of course our swords, which come out here, and they will get lit on fire. Now, looks like there's no swords at the moment, so that's good. And then auto-sorting wise, golden nuggets are currently being sorted. But yeah, so this is a great way to if you sit here for like, I would say 10 minutes or so, you could probably get a stack of gold. It's really, really, really easy. It's a pretty cool little setup going, and it works really well. So props to El Mango, man. He designed a really good farm. There we go. And this is going to help me for what I'm trying to do. This is one of the things that I built very, very recently because I needed a way to get gold. Of course, I'm going to be using golden apples to be able to bring villagers back from being zombified. So I need some way to get a good amount of that. And of course, gold was pretty much the #1 thing for me to go for that. I still got to finish off building this as well. I got to add a zombie villager back to the one pedestal that he fell from, but it's not terribly important, so I haven't been focusing on it. And I also have to build up these walls higher. The reason I have to do that is because the Blaze Guardians will spawn... they either spawn above and start falling down, or they actually spawn below the magma blocks. And when they spawn below the magma blocks, then they just shoot at me directly and start coming towards me. The reason that's a big problem is those guys are like creepers, but for the nether, except for they fly. So, much worse. On top of that, you can't really shoot them with a bow. You kind of can, but it's really annoying. And unfortunately, it just means that they're a big pain in the ass, so it's best to just completely cut off line of sight and not allow them to see me to begin with. But I'll teleport back now, leave and reconnect so I can get my flight back. And from there, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I've been going through trying to make that villager mall, so I'm just going to keep going for that villager mall, keep drafting together some things and producing it, and we'll go from there. In terms of the rest of this, I still have a list of things that needs to get done that I've completely neglected to do because, yeah. For example, this farm has no glass in it, no glass bottles. This farm hasn't finished its glass bottles. It's on the last one, so I'm almost done. So I gotta stop neglecting these guys and finish up the glass, but I feel like that'll come in part of what I'm doing currently since I'm dealing with a lot of sandstone. And when sandstone's covered by, sand, I could just bring it back over to my auto smelter and smelt it down. So I'm just going to be under the impression that hopefully I can passively get those bottles done with some glass in the process of doing this mall. But I don't think it's going to happen that way. Who knows? I'll have to check and see over time. And if I need to, I can always address it by just grabbing some sand and finishing it out. But I have quite a few different things on my list of things to do. So first and foremost, I want to get this mall finished. And I think that that's a good place to start, and that's a good place to kind of go from here. And so far it's been going pretty well. I went through just yesterday and started doing this, and this is where I got with it. So it's looking a bit better. So I'll just start working on these back sections and keep going. There we go. I feel like when it comes to these kind of games, I either need to have at least a conversation piece, something to talk on, or sometimes even just music, because I feel like that background helps keep it interesting. Although I guess in some respect, I can always just let a stream be how it is and not worry about it. That'd be nice. But a lot of times when I do something like start a stream or start doing things like that, there's always that obligation to offer some entertainment, some kind of concept of entertainment, at least to some extent. It's that way people, enjoy their time, because that's what's happening. I'm offering a way to kind of pass the time and for you to come along on this adventure and do so as well. One of the other plans that I have going for this as well is, of course, this right here. This is going to be my elevator system. So all I need to do is start building that up as the rest of this gets built. So as I'm working through this, that will be one of my goals as well, is to knock that out today, if I can. That's if I even get to the second floor. I doubt I will. I think what I'm going to be able to do possibly today is finish up the first floor, maybe, at least to some extent. And then I want to start working on that conversion station for villagers, so that way I can make that a bit easier, because I need to start breeding them. So I need the breeding station and I need a conversion station. Once I can get those two down, that's where I'm going to be pretty much set for getting these areas filled in with villagers, getting the job roles. That'll be the next thing after that, of course. So number one on my list is to finish out the actual floors of this building, possibly just the first floor. I still haven't decided if it's going to be more advantageous for me to just finish out, one floor, and then from there grab my villagers and start filling them in, and then do the next floor after that point. So I kind of have to decide that one as well. I have to figure out, is that something I want to do? Is that something I need to do early on? Or is that something that I want to do later on? Or does that matter? Could I do it at either point? Realistically, I think that doing it early on and having a way to breed villagers, convert them, get them in here, and get them in these slots before I do the second floor is going to be a lot easier. Because once you build that second floor, well, now there's blocks above you that you have to worry about. So it's not going to be too bad either way, though, because I do have a block of emeralds that I use to draw villagers to me. So I guess it won't really matter too much. I'm not trying to put them into the top. I just have to slide them into this hole and then keep them there. So I maybe it won't matter too much. I'll have to see. I'll have to see when I get there. For now, I just have to continue working on this and knock it out. So not too terribly much left for me to do before I get those guys in here. But at least I have a list of things, some goals to accomplish and what I want to do. We'll have to see where that goes and where that gets me. There we go. Luckily I have that first section done, of course. The only thing I need to do is do the above head lining with sandstone, half slabs. But that's something I can do when I get there. There we go. Nice, okay, so this is coming along nicely. It's very simple, so it's just a consistent pattern at this point, which that's to be expected, to be honest. You do something long enough, you'll get in the rhythm. I want to check out how close this was. Yeah, we're good. That cleared it. So there's enough clearance there. I was worried about that because unfortunately some of the dirt sections I've had to mine back at least a little bit in order to be able to fit everything in. So I wanted to make sure that everything fits well, that I'm not going to experience any problems trying to cram everything into this space, and if I need to expand out and get rid of some of that dirt, then I can. But luckily, I have not had to do that. Everything's gone pretty smooth, and so far, pretty nice. let me check one thing real fast. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so, continuing on. Let's get it. But yeah, if you guys end up having any ideas as to things that need to get done, or possible farms to go and pursue, let me know. I know one of the next ones on my list will definitely be the iron farms, because I will need a lot of iron. I'll be going through hoppers like they're candy, so I'm definitely going to need a lot of iron for that, especially as I'm building up the ultimate sorting system. I'm going to need a shit ton of iron to follow that. So yeah, that'll be very helpful to be able to get that knocked out of the way. And then of course, as I go, I'll have to start some other farms. Like I might have to amp up, or at least slightly ramp up my cow farm, so that way I can get more leather. So far it hasn't been a problem, but I already know that when it comes to that auto sorting system, I've gone through at least one time with it already to try and create it. It will absolutely kick my ass if I don't prepare for it. And that means getting massive farms going. So wood farms. Unfortunately, I can't really do too much about the wood because a lot of the wood I'm using, for example, the blue wood is modded. So that means that those trees don't function the same as regular trees. And in this case, the difference is that they don't actually produce, they don't actually drop their wood in the same ways. We have a mod that allows us to just chop down a tree in one hit. Or not one hit, but chop down a tree once you finish out your hits. And that's really nice. You can just get the whole tree in one go, and it's super easy to work with. However, in this mod pack, it's set up a little differently because that tree is considered exceeding the block limit that's set for being able to chop down a tree. So that means that I will have to find a way to either make that more efficient and find a way to just farm out that tree, or just have to do it by hand, which is probably going to end up being the case. I really doubt that I'm going to have a way to just kind of cheese it, so I'm probably going to have to just farm out the actual wood by hand, which isn't terrible, but not really ideal, especially when you're talking about thousands upon thousands of stacks of wood, or even, well, my bad, hundreds of stacks of wood. It's kind of annoying. There we go. And terracotta wise, I'll probably have to go farm out some more terracotta here soon. I figured I could do one set of it and it would be fine, but I have completely underestimated the amount of resources I'm using for this, because terracotta is not that fun to mine, and it takes me a little while to just do like a whole stack of it. But the end result is always kind of cool, because this terracotta is a nice like light pink sorta, so it gives a different color to my my mall. I was gonna do more of the gray terracotta, something simple, but I decided against it. I figured, might as well have a little more color to what I'm doing. I have like a yellow sort of floor, or more that hues towards the yellows, so keeping something along that theming and that white kind of contrasted a little bit. That's something that's nice. So overall, I liked the white terracotta. It looked the best, and it kind of fit with the color palette, so figured might as well. Personally, I would have gone concrete, just white concrete, and then done like colored flooring or something, but in this case, white concrete would have been probably a pain in the ass to get a hold of. I think I wouldn't have been too fond of having to get gravel. I probably would have had to go into the nether to get a good quantity of gravel, because the quantities that I'd be using would be a bit high. So I guess I could probably go through and just do the auto duplication glitch, or the duplication glitch for end portal. The end portal duplication glitch for falling objects is kind of nice. So I don't know if it still works in 1.17.1 because I haven't tested it, but definitely should. Because it's a great way to get concrete and farm it out. If you have never tried it before, I'd recommend looking it up and just, giving it a shot if you are doing endgame Minecraft. Because it's something that looks like it makes it a bit easier. I haven't done it myself, so I can't say for sure. But, multiple items, kind of nice. But so far I've been very much enjoying going through, creating these farms, adding in things that I otherwise wouldn't have thought about. Having to engineer solutions to problems is kind of interesting as well. Like, I've had to go through and think about, how does this function, and what do I have to do to make sure this works properly. I think the auto smelter was a great example of that, where I went through and created the auto smelter. I set up a system for it, and I had to think about, okay, so how am I going to make items evenly split into furnaces, a good set of furnaces, to be able to just cook properly. Because before I had done a rail system that was much smaller, so the carts were just bouncing between a very small portion and like a hopper that was filling them. And it was okay, it worked, but it worked very poorly. It didn't sort them evenly between the available furnaces. There was only like 6, but it didn't sort very well between them. So when the cart came through, it would drop a majority in the first chest because it went over that one the most amount of times. It would drop a handful in the second one, the second furnace to be smelted down, and then the third furnace would get like pretty much nothing. So it was very uneven, didn't really supply what I was looking for in terms of a furnace that would actually go fast or decently fast. So I just revamped it. My second iteration was pretty decent. I went through and added in some... I pretty much added in a different system in place. So I would do chests, and from those chests, it would expand out into other furnaces. So it would be a chest, hopper, 2 hoppers below it that would expand in 2 different directions, and then I would do another chest, and then I'd do 2 hoppers below it that expand in different directions, chest, and rinse and repeat. I ended up with about 8 furnaces that were being filled with items. However, it completely negated the point of what I was trying to do, and what happened is that it all went to one chest, or one furnace. And the reason that occurred, I came to realize, because I just didn't think about it, is the Minecraft update path. So Minecraft has a system in place to say, I want to update this block. And when I update this block, it means I'm going to ping it, and I'm going to ask it, what's happened? What happened to you? Is there any change? Is there no change? Was there a piece of sand? Was there a sand block that fell down? Is it still in there? Is there even a block in this space? And it has to ask, basically the game has to ask itself, was there any change done? If so, what should I do? Should I make change X, Y, Z, So to be able to deal with that, it basically goes, I believe it's west, east, north, south, up, down, or down, up, or something like that. Basically what that means is that I'm basically going to update here first. So I'm going to update this block first and say, hey, what's happened to you? What's changed? And then I'm going to update this block. Hey, what's happened to you? What's changed here? Then I'm going to update this block. Hey, how are you doing? This one, hi. This one above it, and this one below it. And I'm basically asking all the blocks around me, what's changed? What's happened? Let me know what's going on. What that means for a hopper is that the hoppers that are facing the west direction end up saying, hi, what's changed here? Oh, you need a block sent here because it's in the hopper and this chest is available? Okay, I send item here. But the problem is, that one does it first every time, which means when the hopper's next available to send an item, it asks this block next to it, which is the chest, and it goes to that chest every time. And then it does it again with the hopper below it. Oh, hi, hopper, you're closest on this side, you're the next block. What's changed? Oh, okay. Send block. It's just that rinse and repeat. And so what happened is it kept sending blocks to only one furnace, which I'm not quite entirely certain why that hasn't occurred on my smaller furnaces. For example, my double furnace system splits it pretty evenly. So I don't know why it doesn't happen there, but it happens on a larger scale. But either way, since that occurs, I had to can that idea, and I had to just kind of give up on my ideas and look up and be like, hey, what am I doing? What's stupid? Why is this not working? And so finding other people's auto smelters, I understood that having a fast moving thing like a hopper minecart that's going as fast as it can over a set amount of, hoppers will actually evenly distribute majority of the material that you have in the cart. Do it over a long enough distance, and you're going to completely take all the blocks from that cart and distribute them to furnaces. So that was really cool to figure out. It was part of my process, and I just kind of learned what other people had done to solve that problem. And so I built a system that basically relayed the same information that I had done before, but in a better way. And that was really cool. It turned out really nice. I ended up getting, an auto sorter that actually evenly distributes its items, which means that I do much faster, much more efficient smelting. So I get my items back every second or two, rather than every 10 seconds a new item gets finished. So it's much more efficient, and it works a lot better. There is some delay that happens between the carts that have to carry the items, but that's negligible. Honestly, you can't really avoid that. There's ways to, but I wouldn't be avoiding it, not with how I'm going about things. So overall, really cool system. It works really well. It does exactly what I need it to do. Nothing more, nothing less, and it surprised me in terms of its speed and efficiency. It was so much better than the system I had before. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Oh no. Oh. All out of white terracotta, so let's see what's left of the actual terracotta, and hopefully it's 8 blocks. 8 blocks, that's perfect. That's all you need. 8 blocks and one of these, and we on our way. There we go. Looks like I'll have to go get terracotta here shortly. I guess I should just finish it out, honestly, and make the rest of this terracotta. I don't like what it's going to do to my white dye, but yeah. There we go. Alright, so that's all the rest of the terracotta I have left. Let's see if we can finish the floor with this amount. I'm thinking possibly we might be able to. I'm not entirely certain that I will, but maybe? I hope this quantity's enough. I'll be able to do 1 stack at least. I don't know if I'll be able to go up another block and be fine. I think I'll be able to finish up maybe partial construction before it runs out of blocks, because I've already gone through a stack and I'm just on like one side here and I'm just finishing up a side. So yeah, I really doubt that I'm going to be able to knock out the entirety of this floor on only 8 stacks. But that's one of the interesting things about in-game Minecraft, is you start to deal with these quantities of items that you otherwise never come across in Minecraft. Like, why would you need 36 stacks of an item? Well, only if you're doing a large project that needs 36 stacks. Beyond that, you don't need those quantities. why wouldn't a double chest be enough to store the items you're going to be getting? Well, when those items start exceeding these ridiculous quantities, that's where you start seeing the actual use, and the reality is a use for those quantity of items, which means your storage has to increase, your production has to increase, your ability to obtain has to increase. Everything does. And it's kind of cool because, there's this progression in Minecraft that I've always come to, which was make something that's pretty good and that's just a cool design, and that's about it. I didn't really think much into the aspect of kind of engineering solutions to doing these major projects. But when you get into these projects that end up taking months, weeks, days, hours, honestly, those ones are the most interesting and most rewarding, honestly. That's one of the things I learned playing Destiny 2 and getting really good at Destiny 2 was that the end game of a game can be very rewarding, and it takes a while to get there. So if you are willing to put in the time and you like the game that you're playing, then you can absolutely enjoy some other part of the content of that game that just was never truly designed to be as crazy as it can be. So video games, they offer quite a lot in terms of how you want to spend your time. Whether or not they're even worth that is up to the individual, You got to kind of pick and choose your battles. What do you like? What do you not like? And what do you want to spend your time doing? What is worth spending your time doing? And for me, I quite enjoy these larger projects that kind of consume more time, but also end up being a bit more rewarding because you can do things that otherwise I never thought were possible in Minecraft. For example, the type of auto farms that you can produce get insane. Like the gold farm up there, it's not the most efficient one in the world, but it is really, really, really efficient for XP and gold, comparatively to what I've done before, which is basically just farming mobs. The typical method of, hunting them down, killing them. And that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that style of, hunting and gathering. And it's cool. It works, especially early game. But once you start getting into these later things with, like I said, these larger projects, you have to find solutions to problems that didn't exist before. Like, how do I efficiently obtain these resources? Otherwise, I'm going to be spending days, hours, days, trying to just get a hold of the amount of resources I need. Which is quite an interesting concept. I've never really come across it before, especially in Minecraft. So it's really cool to try and solve these problems. Yeah, and definitely rewarding. Definitely rewarding to throw together these farms and kind of solve the problems of how do I break the game, How do I take the game and turn it into something it probably wasn't thought about being. There we go. And on top of that, you get to go through these design phases of, how do I improve what's existing? How can I work with the resources at my fingertips and create something new? Which is a great thing to apply to things like engineering, which I've not quite gotten into terribly much myself. I've gone through and I'm still in the works of building a drone, which has been a very fun and rewarding experience, absolutely. But the ideas of engineering, solving the problems that arise, solving those personal problems in your life that are just stupid and simple, but, you want a solution. Creating something that otherwise doesn't exist. I think that whole process of making is really awesome. It's really cool and honestly very rewarding to jump into. So far, this process has been coming along very nicely, pretty smooth. I will absolutely run out of white terracotta here, and I was right about that. There's no way I'm finishing this floor on 8 stacks. I'll have to get a whole nother set so I can probably go up another level. Yeah, I think another set will probably do me another level. So here's to hoping that finishes out at least this floor, because once I'm finished with this floor I can get on to the next one, or get on to the next next thing on my list of things to do. So I'll let this finish out, and the next part's probably going to be a little boring. I'm just going to be sitting there farming out terracotta, fighting a few mobs. So not terribly entertaining, but definitely very necessary for what I'm creating and constructing here. There we go. So there's that white terracotta, and that's what we were able to do with one set. Basically went up pretty much just a level. I think we really just went up one level across the entirety of it. So that's not too terrible. I mean, at least, you know, it's closing in on what it needs to be. So if I go up a few more levels, then I'll be good to go. So I think it's time to just go get that terracotta. Ooh, I should get the white dye and bring that with me, because that's actually super useful. So if I want to, you know, transform terracotta to get the white terracotta filled up, you know, I'll be able to. And then I probably just need one. What do we got? Yeah, I'll just take this, make a chest. Or not chest, sorry. Crafting table. Alright, let's go. That's pretty cool. So it's coming along. And let's just get over to the Badlands and get some terracotta. I definitely have a few more projects in mind that I have to work on with this server. I'm a little bit sad that I don't really have many other people to play with on this server, because that would be honestly enjoyable, having others to enjoy these builds with, and at least, you know, the repercussions of these builds, so, you know, the resources they farm out. That'd be nice. But unfortunately, there's not many people that are on when I'm on, especially with this server, because this is an Australian. So, other side of the world for me, which means that I can't really invite my friends to it either. So, bit of a downside there. Overall, though, it's been a surprising experience, because for something on the other side of the world, there's not much ping that I'm having a problem with. There's not much lag that I'm dealing with from that, which is quite nice. There we go. So let me turn that volume back up, by the way, since... There we go. Since we're no longer by any of those farms, we don't have to worry about the excessive same noise issue. There we go. Alright, cool. So we can just farm out terracotta now. And I do genuinely think that if I tried doing something else, like concrete, I probably could do it a bit more efficiently, and I could probably farm it a bit better. Because this is not ideal, having to manually mine out all of these blocks for the stacks and stacks and stacks of terracotta that I've been using. Not the best. It's kind of a little bit rough. But I'm not really a stranger to spending a lot of time just farming something out, so I don't mind it either. It's pretty simple to keep doing what I've been doing, so it's not too bad. And I don't really have a need to get concrete set up and get that duplication glitch going, so I mean, I absolutely could use it for the walls, but I think I'm going to stick with the white terracotta for now. And then possibly in a future build, I'll have to get the duplication glitch going and getting that, the excessive amounts of sand and gravel set up. But for now, pretty good. It's working pretty well. what I'll probably do is keep on mining this, and then in a little while, I'm definitely going to go get some food. I have not gotten food in a hot minute, and it is calling my name. Just gotta go get something to eat. But if I do that, what I'll probably do is AFK the skeleton farm, the XP farm, and let them start basically killing each other. While they're doing that, they're just going to be creating a bunch of bones and a bunch of arrows. So I can definitely get some use out of that, and having a place to just AFK like that, really nice. I would AFK the gold farm. However, if I AFK the gold farm, I'm likely to end up getting myself killed. Because unfortunately, there's the blazes, there's the blaze guardians that spawn, and those guys are not something I want to be AFK around. So it could be helpful, but I think it's more likely that I'll just do the skeleton farm. Get some more bones, get the bone blocks set up, because I might need them for the next floor. I have a few stacks. I think I actually filled up my shulker box for bone blocks, but in the case that I haven't, having those extra bones is going to be really, really nice. I might have to go check that one just to make sure, because I'm not entirely certain that I actually have filled it. I think I probably still can fill it. Alright, so let me go right here first off, and I'm going to put down the shulker boxes. Cool. I just want to make sure that I can fill this up entirely with the goodies. There we go. He should die. He killed himself. That works. Alright, so I'll probably go next floor down then and keep mining this out. I only have a few more floors to go with this terracotta, so I doubt I'll be able to mine this forever. I'll have to watch my footing of where I put myself, though. Because with the mobs that spawn around me, it's definitely going to get annoying when they start shooting at me and attacking. So I'll just have to keep it in mind. Keep to a regular area. Something close by where the mobs aren't spawning within. Probably to my right. There we go. I will absolutely say, though, one of the things that I've really loved about this game are the mods. I used to never play modded Minecraft. I just never touched it. But the more that I've gotten into playing modded Minecraft, the more I've realized, wow, these are fundamental things that I really wish Minecraft had as part of them. Like the ability to chop down a tree in one swing, destroying one block. That's really, really useful. And super helpful. I really wish that vanilla Minecraft had it. The ability to sort a chest or sort your inventory with a button. That's really, really useful. I really wish vanilla Minecraft had it. The ability to kill a baby zombie with a bow. That's really useful. Enough said. Yeah. That's about it. There's a lot of things that I really wish vanilla Minecraft had. A map in the top right, like a mini map like this. It's a little bit cheaty when it comes to some of the aspects, so I understand why they don't have it. But it is really nice. Being able to put down waypoints to know where your stuff is located, once again, super nice. I think that's fucking amazing. Although I guess that's kind of what beacons are for. But they're not really the same. There's a big difference between the two. One you can see at all times, the other one you can't. Don't get me wrong, I kind of wish this waypoint mod had a way to change the opacity of your waypoints so they weren't, you know, in front of everything, but that's not too terribly bad. Teleportation system, so being able to teleport from one location to another using a waypoint, that's something I really love, and I kind of wish Minecraft had. There's so many modded things that Minecraft absolutely should add. Goodness, the better end mod. The better end mod, maybe I guess the better nether mod, but the better end mod by far adds so much that absolutely could be in vanilla and would be just so awesome to see. Because I feel like that area is just underutilized, and better end adds in just biomes and things to the end that otherwise didn't exist. Adds in resources that you can use like lighting blocks and such that are super easy to come by. So overall, really nice. Really one of those nice to haves. I do understand they also have to think about, you know, what's the canon of Minecraft and what can be canonical, what can apply to Minecraft in the process of creating. They can't really just add whatever they want to the game. So I do get there's probably something to that as well. But I think there's a lot of fundamental things they could add or change. That would be really nice. I think that zombie sees me because he looks like he's coming this way. One of the interesting things about this server as well is it's set up to get harder as the days go on. So we're currently at day 981. So we've been here a while. And it did reset at one point, so I'm pretty sure that we've probably more likely to be day 1500. But basically what that means is that there's more mobs spawning, so the quantity of them is higher, and they're going to be more aggressive. There's also like ogres and things that spawn. I don't think they're spawning in this biome. I'm not sure why, but in regular biomes they spawn, and they're a little bit more tanky. They're just kind of like zombies, but a little more tanky. Was that an iguana? That is an iguana. Hello, Mr. Iguana. I don't think you're Minecraft, are you? No, I don't think Mr. Iguana is Minecraft. I think that's a modded animal. I could be wrong. Does Minecraft have iguanas? I don't actually know. That's the thing, I haven't played this game in a hot minute, so when I got into these newer versions of Minecraft, they're really enjoyable. I love what they've added. It's really cool. Being somebody that hasn't played a ton of Minecraft recently and has been trapped in Destiny for years, coming to this game has been kind of cool. Hello, Mr. Iguana. What's up? Are you Minecraft? You're Adventure Z. Oh, I see. You need to be added to Minecraft. You're adorable. There's so much stuff that I'm glad that the modding community has taken the initiative to add things to this game, to improve upon this game, because there absolutely is a lot that it can improve upon, and they've knocked it out of the park in terms of what they've been capable of, especially on this platform, because unfortunately this one is running off the JavaScript as kind of its, or not JavaScript, sorry, but it's essentially running off some older engines. So I would say that it's due for a revamp. Minecraft 2. More likely Minecraft Actual, because I think this one's still technically in beta. Which is ironic, because Minecraft has been in beta forever. But I don't think they're happy with the game in terms of where it's at, and they have a lot of improvements they want to push along the ways, of course, with the caves update and everything. Which is one of the most interesting things about this game, is the fact that it's still in beta. The fact that Minecraft is a game that has basically been pushing for improvement, and in the process has offered something for people to just enjoy for the time being as they improve it. which is really something I don't think many games have been able to replicate. I'm sure there's a lot of games out there that have been in beta for extended periods of time, but having the ability to jump between versions of a game based on the version you like, and having the ability to revert back to a time before developers did something shitty, or move forward to a time when they added something really cool, that's awesome. Like, that's something that's super unique and lets people play what they want to play of a game. I think that's one of the things that Minecraft did right, at least in terms of their current development, and they absolutely have been nailing home about, keeping this game refreshing for people to be able to play how they want to play. Which is ironic, given the fact that it's, basically a creative game, all about creating what you want and optimizing things and just kind of surviving. But it's interesting how Minecraft takes a game that's kind of fitting into that survival genre and just changes it entirely. Absolutely an enjoyable piece, though. I don't think I've ever played any game that's kind of similar to Minecraft, other than, generic style, sort of, not clones, but, replicants of this style of game. And those are kind of interesting, but they fall short in terms of what Minecraft has been able to accomplish and what its community specifically has been able to accomplish. The community for this game is crazy, in terms of what their capabilities are and what they've been able to do. Same with kind of Roblox in a way, because I think Roblox is one of those game communities as well that's all about making and modding and basically adding on to the game in a different way. So their games pretty much are mods, which is kind of cool. The games created in Roblox are basically just mods to the engine, sort of. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Minecraft definitely has done that, and it's basically made itself popular in the process of doing that. So really cool for the platform of developers that actually still care to update the game and add things to it and improve upon it. But I'm sure that Mojang will, in time, transition this game. Or sorry, Microsoft, because weren't they bought out by Microsoft? I forget. I believe that acquisition already happened a long time ago. It's kind of hard to keep up with these companies that keep getting acquired by other companies. And then of course the companies that change their names, Meta. It's so stupid, but at the same time, like, I kind of get it. They want to save face. They want to hide their history, hide their browsing history. But unfortunately, they're using Google Chrome, so it's all out in the public anyways. Alright, let's see. So let's add 2 of these. This will let me do this. There we go. And now we can add to this shulker box. This is going to be my white terracotta box. Already almost filled. What a surprise! There we go. Enough for 3 more. Alright. I will take my 40 die. And I will roll the die. There we go. $16 die. Filled up the box. So that's the 1 set of terracotta down. And let's just do another set of terracotta. So away we go. Another shulker, another thing to fill. There we go. Alrighty. So my goal here is to fill out these boxes with terracotta, and then once I have filled them entirely, then I can go ahead and just bring it on home, and then from there keep building out that mall. So one step at a time. But I'm absolutely getting there. So it's really cool. It's turning out better than I hoped. It's not too terribly bad to mine these out. It definitely takes a little while, but it's okay. Mr. Iguana, please move, Mr. Iguana. I don't want to hurt you, Mr. Iguana. I don't even know what you eat, Mr. Iguana. I probably have to get like a fish or something. I don't even know. What do iguanas eat? Mr. Iguana, what do you like? What do you, is you bugs? Do you like bugs? Should I get you a bug? Yeah, I don't have any bugs for you. Sorry, Mr. Iguana. Oh, I know a bug. I'll put you in a block, Mr. Iguana. That's a bug. Because it'll really bug you. The suffocation technique. Mending is really nice. Being able to just... Oh, my pickaxe is fixed. With my insane amounts of XP that I do not need. Which can go a lot more insane if I just sit there for a while. Really, I should take 1 point and just see how high I can get it. Like, how many hundreds do I really want to get to? Although my problem there would run into something else. Then I would start filling up the bottom thing because the hoppers would get full because I wouldn't have enough coal to smelt all of the things that would be falling in there. And then all of those items would cause problems because they clog up the system. So many different problems that can occur from that. Hello, boxes. You're in my way. Almost. You're almost in my way. Oh. Well, I'm getting these at a rate that is not too terribly fast. But that's all right. There we go. Gosh, all of this terracotta is like trying to hide away. I'm gonna go into tiny spaces underneath and around and underneath the dirt and underneath. Did I mention I'm underneath the dirt? Goodness. Terracotta, come on. Work with me. I'm just trying to use you respectively. There we go. There we go, there's that done. That's out of the way. Time to move on to the next section. And away I go. There we go. Well, I'm glad I could make some progress here. I will probably be ending out this stream here. I'm thinking when I actually go to get food, what I'll do is I'll probably go ahead and end out this stream, because this wasn't meant to be any kind of crazy long stream. I might come back a little later, I'm not sure. It depends. I got some things I need to go ahead and get done, so probably have to go ahead and end out this stream. Get to it. But I do appreciate everyone who has been watching so far. Whether that be a single person or nobody. Because I anticipate that these streams in particular aren't going to be... There's not really going to be much happening with them. That's what I anticipate at the very least. Because of course, there is 101 people to watch. And 101 people that actually make things. So... my inconsistency about making things probably isn't going to be much of a crazy grabber. My naming scheme and tags probably aren't going to draw in many viewers, and in terms of the actual quickly thrown together thumbnail, it's not much, but it's decent. There we go. So that's my anticipation. Now, is that going to be validated as, yeah, that's how things are? Probably. And that's what I expect. My whole point of streaming this today, mainly, is just that way anybody that wants to enjoy this, anybody that has, you know, any care in the world to enjoy this, they can enjoy it along with me. Because I do think that at least the concept of Minecraft Endgame and what it has to offer is really cool. So... I'm sure that there are other people that enjoy that as well. Yeah, buddy? You wanna have a bow fight? I guarantee I'll win. Bye. Thanks for the bow fight. Yeah? You also want a bow fight? I guess I'll have to wait and see. Creeper is definitely going to come up here at some point. He just knows I'm looking in that direction, so, you know, he doesn't want to. That's okay. That's alright. That's alrighty. Yeah, buddy? Zombie decides he's going to come my way. Okay. That's not nice, man. How could you? How could you? How far am I? Okay. So, I'm working my way. Okay, that's not bad. The rate of gathering isn't crazy, but it's not terrible either. It's okay. Yeah. Wow, they really get attracted from a good range. It's like one zombie and then bam, there's all of them. Hello, Mr. Creeper. I knew you were coming up here eventually. Good try, though. A little predictable. Oh, there's someone coming up behind me. Is it a zombie? Is it a creeper? Is it a spider? No. Oh, it's a creeper. I was wondering who was walking up behind me. I knew it was someone. Well, it's gotta be someone. Couldn't be nobody. How could nobody do that? I don't even know. There we go. How's it going, Mr. Spider? Never mind. Well, I guess I gotta get rid of those creepers. There's one to my right. Is he coming over here? Yeah, he is. Not really. I mean, he's like doing his own thing, really. Well, Yep. These guys aren't really harming anything, but hey, you know what? I can have some fun too. Oh, if I can hit my shots. Damn. I'm not very good shot there. Not very good shot. That's decent. That's gonna make him 1 health, isn't it? Knew it. There we go. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Goodbye, Mr. Creeper. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. I gotta go practice. Goodness. I am not very good. Oh well, that's okay. There we go. Now I get some XP. Gonna level up. And not really. But that's okay. I don't need the levels. What I need is terracotta. Lots and lots of terracotta. Excessive amounts of terracotta. So much terracotta that I can make a business out of terracotta. And I am going to make a business out of terracotta. In fact, I'm building a business out of terracotta. It's a mall. It's pretty good. My realizations are amazing. Yeah, Mr. Creeper. Goodbye, Mr. Creeper. I missed you and you're right in front of me. I gotta go home. Must be drunk. That was complete trash. That's why I have an infinity bow. Don't have to worry about it. I can be awful and still hit my shots and yeah. Should totally make some poison arrows. If I can. I forget what arrows are possible in this one. I know I could do like slow mode arrows. Those are actually really easy to come by. I just have to go to, I believe, a snow biome. I could probably get a hold of them pretty easily. Unless they're modded. But I don't think those skeletons are modded. I think those skeletons spawn in regular vanilla. But we do have the adventure pack. Ah, that was the iguana. I was like, what made that sound? What monster hath made that sound? How could you? You tricked me. You made me think that I was dead. But I really wasn't. Oh no. Is it a zombie horde? Not again. Not since the accident. Yeah, Mr. Iguana? What's the problem? Yeah, I know. There's no sun. It'll be back. That's alright, Mr. Iguana. You're in good hands. Not my hands. My hands, no. Sorry, Mr. Iguana. Hello, Spider. Appreciate you coming out today. And doo-doo-doo. Hello, Mr. Iguana. How is your day today? Are you doing good? No? You're gonna go? Aye, that's fair. No, that's fair. No, I understand. You're good, man. Have a good one. There we go. 47. I'm almost there. This is it. This is it. I can do it. I can make it to the end. Well, I mean, I've been to the end. The other end. Yeah, there we go. I did it. Perfect, perfect. I probably will have to end this stream, to be honest. My voice will sound like trash when it comes to later portions. Because unfortunately, I'm going to eat ice cream. It's not unfortunate for me. It just means that I would be hacking up a hairball the entire time with streaming, unfortunately. You know, my voice is going to be just hot garbage. Alright, so I'm going to let that, I'm going to let myself glide there. Take a look here and see how everyone's day's been, of course. Let's go over here to my channel, see what's going on. Welcome. Glad you could join. Looks like I'm starting to get a little bit low, so I might want to jump back in and take a look there. Oh, there we go. And we've arrived. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Ooh, looks like there's plenty to fill out, so let's see how much this actually helps me. White terracotta. So this is the box we're looking for. And I'll bring these other boxes here. Because these are good. But I need to do some work with them. What's happening over here? Something's underground. Yeah. Something's definitely underground there, like probably a little cave or something I need to clear out. We'll deal with that in a minute. Let's just fill up my inventory with some white terracotta and keep her going. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Gotta get that back. I don't want to lose any of this because it takes a lot just to make a thing. Just to make a thing that's fun, and I got to go make a thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, there we are. I still have to do that middle section, and I realize that I'm kind of missing that, but I'll come back to it in a second. I have not lifted that part up at all. Ugh. No, stop double pressing me. I gotta not do that. It's not very helpful. Gotta just do my thing, gotta just a ding-a-ling. There we go. And how many have I taken up so far? That's actually not terrible. That gives me enough space to put that up there. So 2 stacks just to do the rim of this. Never mind. I'm gonna go through all of this terracotta with ease before I finish this out. What level am I on? So I'm on level 3. So just to finish this level 3, I'm gonna go through probably at least the 8 stacks of terracotta that we went through before to do, like, shit all. That's unfortunate. I kind of was hoping that would cover more area. I'll definitely do some more, probably off stream. Trying to finish this out. I've been doing a lot of this grinding, and I really should have been streaming some of it, because I think that would have been really enjoyable for some people. Or possibly enjoyable. Who knows? That's why you gotta go for it, you know? You gotta just throw things out there and let people decide, you know? Is this something you like? Is it something you don't like? My only problem is when I have to stream, I have to put on these headphones. And when I have to put on these headphones, yikes, my ears do not like that. So, yeah. That's kind of like making a call that's not great. But you gotta make the call. Which, it's nice for you guys because that means you get a nice clear audio, you don't have to hear any background noise, you know, it's all great. But when I get to play with my speaker, you know, it's... You get the option of either not any background noise of the game and just terrible audio, or, you know, background noise of the game and good audio. Which isn't a great selection, so that's why I gave you the best of both worlds, you know? No background noise and good audio. The win-win. But something tells me that I need to do something for myself in that regard. Otherwise, trying to do these streams probably isn't going to be that fun for me. Because I'm going to be constantly like, oh no, my ears. My ears, Nestor. My ears are not great. They have problems. These problems cannot be solved with a headphone. A singular headphone. Multiple headphones, maybe. Just maybe. But who knows? Who really understands what's the next step in ear evolution? It's like Pokemon evolution, but for your ears. Well, so far, this has been going pretty nicely. I like it. I like it very much. I don't know why I started this accent, but I guess I'm gonna roll with it for the time being. It's okay. It's alright. Not the best accent in the world, but hey, you know what? I'm not hating. It's just an accent. Kinda shitty, but that's what you get, you know? You gotta practice something to get better at it, so if you expect to be amazing immediately, you're not gonna be very happy with yourself. You're gonna be very sad, very disappointed, and hoping for more. So, take the time, practice it, even if it's shit, practice. That's how you're gonna get better. Otherwise, you get some very not nice repercussions. For example, my accent here is not very great, but it's okay, you know. I've been practicing it a little while, so it's gotten a little bit better over the years, but to be honest, it has a lot of work left to it. Long way to go, very long way to go. But that's okay, that's part of the practice, you know. You gotta get better at something by just doing. So hey, what the fuck, why not? People are going to complain about the fact that you keep making the same accent and they don't like it, but hey, you know what? What's the problem with that? I don't see a problem with that at all. If you have fun with it, why not? Why hold back? Within reason. Within reason. But, you know. People are going to be as reasonable as they want to be, so hey, who am I to judge? The answer is the only person without an actual, you know, license to do so. So, that's exactly the person that needs to be judging, of course. I have the full capability and mental capacity to make claims and assumptions about your life. Therefore, I own you. That's right. Congratulations, you're part of my collection now. Please, step aside. Let the professionals handle this one. Oh, okay, that's one block too high. How dare you? Mr. Block, we talked about this. We had the discussion. We talked over the guidelines. We understand each other inside and out, and mainly on the outside. We understand each other. We've considered understanding each other. We haven't gotten there yet. We're still working on it. My mind is a wonder place of random shit. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that is all of the outside lining done. I think I'm going to go ahead and line those internal areas first, because I actually have enough white terracotta that I can... Whee! I actually have enough white terracotta that I can do that. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and do it. Because if I line these correctly, then I don't have to worry anymore about this middle section, and I can actually start doing my rooftop. I don't have to worry about terracotta as much. I will have enough terracotta, I feel like, to do this. So I'll finish this off. I think my goal here is going to be then to finish this floor, at least for the walls. And then from there I can kind of make changes afterwards. Ooh, I'm not tired at all. You're tired. Long work week, so honestly this weekend is very nice. Very nice, very needed. And school. School's going to be great. Can't wait to continue doing that. That I totally should have been doing today. And definitely in no ways have procrastinated to the point where I end up doing it on Sunday every single time when it's due. But I finish it. Which causes me to procrastinate even more because I know that I can finish it within the time allotted, which is a problem and a solution. The solution being I know I'm going to finish it. The problem being I think I'm going to finish it, which means the times that I do not finish it and the times that I've already been close to almost not finishing it, I've been cutting it way, way too close. And maybe if I told myself, hey, you're not going to finish it, do it before, throughout the week, responsibly, then I would do it on time. However, that's not the case. And that hasn't been the case. Therefore, I just need to tell myself, you're not going to finish it. Do it early. Do it responsibly. And maybe, just maybe, one day, I will be on time. Ahead of time. To finish my time. But that is not this day. You see, this day, I spend my time in Minecraft, crafting away a world of pure imagination, something you would never understand. Trying to think of how many other references I can cram into a monologue. Nah, I got nothing. Well, the interior is done, so let's go ahead and continue this. Well, no, the interior is not done. I'm still working on it, so that's not done, clearly, because if it were done, then I wouldn't be still working on it. And that's not even how that works. In fact, I don't even think I work. Not this weekend, at least. Hallelujah. Can I get an amen? Alrighty. There we go. That's that one side done. Time to do the other. And then we can move on to the center. Which will be nice, because honestly I'm ready to get the center done, and that way I can actually start building on the ceiling and, you know, do the roof, and get that shit done, and be on my way. More projects, please. Thank you. May I have another? In fact, you know, leave the project at the door. I'll pick it up in the mailbox. The door box. The door mailbox. The mail door box. My door has a gender. And its pronouns are la and las. Or los, fuck. Listen, I have considered Spanish. Am I able to speak it? Not even in the slightest. Am I able to think it exists? Yeah, that's about it. Oh. Mr. Block. Mr. Block. Come on, Mr. Block. Don't do that to me. Mr. Block again? Come on, Mr. Block. I know that's myself that's doing that to me. And it's not you, Mr. Block. It's me. But that's besides the point, and that does not apply to the... no. There we go. Okay, Mr. Block, listen. Listen, Mr. Block, we talked about this, okay? We had Mr. Block, we had an agreement. Stop. Stop being so mean, Mr. Block. Mr. Block, come on. Mr. Block's #1 goal in life is just jump in front of my ability to build and be like, haha, I'm in the way. Guess what? If I were a linebacker, I would be blocking you and you would not be getting to the goalpost at all. No way you're going to make it down the field. And that's why we call him Mr. Block. What an amazing individual. To this very day, still blocking people. Just like me. On Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. I kinda do, but I don't use a Twitter. Yep, exactly. Completely caught on to what I was totally going for, which is absolutely jack diddly shit. Isn't it enjoyable? Do do do. Ba da ba. Wow. Okay, so I actually did manage to finish that one. That's pretty cool. Honestly, I'll take it. And there's enough that I can probably get started on the bottom level of just one of the sections. So that's pretty good. I'll honestly take that. So what I need to do now is bring out the big boys and bring out, where are you at? Glowing block. Wait, do I need glowing block? I don't need glowing block. I've already finished glowing block. Yep. Alright, so I can leave those in the chest. And I can just start rounding this out, that's so cool. This has worked out pretty well. Okay. I'm impressed that actually, like, is working out so easily. I was wondering what these skeleton sounds were, and then I'm like, I'm stepping on bone block. Ah, yes. That's the reason that I hear bones. Bone block sounds kind of cool. Sounds sort of hollow. I think it's going to be really cool to come through here and just add in the ceiling. Because based on what I'm seeing, I believe that all of these are actually good to go in terms of lighting. I don't know if that's going to stay the same. And in case that doesn't, I'm kind of a little bit afraid to block everything off. I think I might have to put in the villagers first before I go crazy there. But it's looking pretty good. I gotta remember what I'm gonna do with the villagers too, because like I could just wall off their sections, or I can drop them down just slightly. I don't know what I'm gonna do just yet. Maybe I'll do like a little lighting node above their head. Oh man, if I could tell when they're ready to be trade with a villager, that would be cool. That would let me put like a lighting node above their head that basically lights up when they're available to trade. That'd be really cool. There we go. This cut sandstone is covering a lot of ground, which is good because it needs to. Otherwise, I'll be going for a lot of sandstone. Hey, what's up, you two? How you been? EA Sports. It's kind of lame. It's been definitely a minute. Definitely a hot minute. Glad you guys have joined. Appreciate you. Oh, I'm getting stuck in a corner. Hell yeah. Just mining away, crafting, and of course building. Very enjoyable experiences. Oh, no, I've completely failed that. Mr. Block, once again, you have blocked me from doing my job. How could you? You're insane. Completely erratic. Who would ever understand such a crazy individual? Mr. Block, how could you? You betrayed me for the last time. No longer will I trust you. There we go. What is horse built? Sorry, what? What is horse building? Horse building is the Clydesdale's #1. Yeah. Doing good. Glad to see you join. So currently, I am building this mall. It's going to be a villager mall. So I'm going to pack it full of villagers for trading purposes, of course. And I'm going to let these guys basically offer ridiculously low-priced trades and buys. Basically, that's exactly what this is. This is just massive trading post. So it's pretty cool. It is going to take me a long time to complete. However, I've gotten the first floor, like, working on it, you know. And it's going well. It's going well. Almost finishing up with that one. Mall. Yeah, it's a mall. It's a mall. I mean, what else am I going to call it? Come on. Like, a mall is the closest thing, you know. It's a shopping mall for Christmas time, of course, so I can get my presents early and make sure that everyone's covered, you know. Otherwise, I'll be running out last minute having to get stuff. Oh, no. Crazy Black Friday shopping is nothing compared to last-minute shoppers. They're vicious. Am I using a mod? Yes, of course. So this is a mod pack for this server that was customized. And essentially, this server has the mini-map as one of the mods, as well as quite a few other ones. Like, for example, I have wings on my back. Rather than elytra, it's basically permanently fixed wings that I don't have to repair and I don't have to worry about, which is really nice. I can also just disable them super easily. So, but they're very convenient for not having to repair and, you know, fiddle with. Oh, there it is. I have quite a lot of other things as well, so if you would like to see any of the other builds that I have done in this server, just let me know. I have XP farms, gold farms, pretty massive things, honestly. My home base, as well as what's in the screenshot for the auto-sorting system that's in the screenshot for this stream. So I can always go ahead and show off the progress on that one so far. It's pretty decent. I kind of have sort of the first level done on that one. Sort of, not even close. But it's coming along. Ooh, that was voice death. It is definitely coming along. There we go. My goal, hopefully, will be to finish out this first floor tonight, or at least finish out the villager breeding center. Either that or the villager conversion center. I want to go ahead and finish out at least one of those two, so I can... Probably the breeding center is what I'll finish tonight. And that's going to be my goal. Will I actually hit it? Maybe not. I might just be able to finish out this level. I think it might be too ambitious, but hey, you know what? Might as well try. I will never know otherwise. Although, given the timing, I do have a few hours to put into this, so that's not going to be too bad. I think I could probably get it knocked out and, you know, get working on it. There we go. Oh wow, that's all the sandstone that I have right there. So let me go get some more. That way I can keep at it. Let's see, sandstone, sandstone. There we go. Yeah. Let's go with, we'll do 3 of them. There we go. I think this is enough that I can work through part of this. I don't know if this is actually going to be enough sandstone for everything. I'm going to have to go get more. I could probably just finish most of this out, though. So far, it's coming along pretty nicely. If I look at it from above, it's starting to look filled out a bit better. It kind of looks like a plane, a little bit, with its triple wings, but that was just the design I went with. So it's decent design. It looks a little bit weird because this one's actually closer than the back one, but whatever. I guess I got to give it some kind of elytra name or something to do with flight. That way I can give it something that's fitting to the design. Or I can offer like little packs of peanuts for your frequent flyer miles. There we go. And that's awesome. That got that one section done. That's pretty good. That's looking good. Let's see. Do I want to end the back like this? I think I will. I think I'll end the back like this. And in terms of, I was planning on doing a staircase to the 2nd floor, but I honestly think I'm going to kind of can that idea. And instead, what I'll probably end up doing is just water chutes, so that way people can just shoot up to the next floor. I think that's going to be a little bit better. And by people, I of course mean myself, and if the people that are on this server ever get back on, then those people as well. But more than likely just myself as I start to build up the auto sorter, because that one's coming along. And in fact, I'll finish out this section here, and I will put up this sandstone. Then I'll jump on over, so if you guys have not seen it, you'll have a chance to see where the progress is currently at. It's not too far off of that screenshot. That one was done more recently, so definitely a lot closer to that. But I have managed quite a lot in this server, especially towards the endgame style of Minecraft. I'm surprisingly close. Okay, so far that looks to be everything. I just can do the next layer of sandstone, which will end up going something like, probably like this. And then I'll just build out from there. So, instead of doing that, yeah, I think I'll probably do something like that for the ceiling. Possibly put in some glass. I don't know. I don't think I'll need glass for that floor. Maybe the 2nd floor I'll do glass. But I will go ahead and shoot on over, so if you guys are interested in the auto sorting system that this whole my whole major project revolves around, and the whole reason I'm doing that mall for villagers, then I can go ahead and showcase that as well. So let's see. So, this is my auto sorter. It is designed to sort every item in the game, at least it will be. And it will sort, well, yeah, every item in the game. 100% efficiency. That's my goal. I think that's a little bit ridiculous because the 100% efficiency part probably isn't going to happen. But I think I can take some loss on an item or two not getting into this one. Yeah, it is. In terms of scale, this thing is pretty massive. It takes up about 100 and something blocks in length. I think it's like 128 or so in length. So I have a lot more to clear out to make it like actually reasonable. But in terms of the floor, I have the flooring all done. I set up all of the quartz block, all of the black stone, and I did the basic design of this thing. However, the only thing I'm now working on for this is getting quartz block. So the whole villager trading idea, that's going to allow me to get a lot more quartz, because if I get stonemasons maxed out, they will sell me quartz blocks. And when it comes to actually obtaining the emeralds, that's super easy. I'm just going to be going through creating villagers, taking those villagers and basically setting them up so that way I can convert them to zombie villagers and back, so their trades are a lot cheaper, which means I can sell them things a lot cheaper, and they're going to be nice to me, which is awesome. But in a nutshell, I have to set up all of this, and it's going to take me a long, long time. I anticipate that this project will probably take me months. That's my anticipation. Or probably a month. No, probably months. That's my anticipation for this one, because this is a large project. This will be the first floor in terms of size. It goes about this height. And then the second floor will be above it, the third floor above it, and the fourth floor above it. The lag that I anticipate this section is going to provide will be probably about knocking you down to, I'd like to say, 13 FPS. That's my hope. I hope that it only knocks you down to 13 FPS, and I hope that it's not so laggy to be in here that it just completely crashes your game, because that would suck. So here's to hoping. But so far, this thing is a long way from being finished. So yeah, it's definitely a long-term project that I'm working on. Very massive though, really cool. And let's see. My current villager trading post isn't exactly ideal, because I can only get about 2 stacks of quartz before my villagers are done trading with me. So it's not great. It's fine for money making. It's good there, but in terms of actually buying things, not great. But yeah, I have a whole set of masons that are all dedicated to just sell me what I need, and it works. It's fine. But in terms of actually getting a hold of a lot of quartz that I'm going to be going through, I only have about this many villagers left that I can make into stonemasons. That's about 6 more villagers, which probably is like a stack, maybe 2 stacks of quartz. So not quite enough for what I'm going for, because I need a few hundred blocks. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to be going through and revamping. That's what the mall's for, is to completely fix this issue of a lack of space for these guys. And that shouldn't be too bad. I've made a bunch of other things as well. A honey farm here, a farm for sugarcane there, as well as a farm for auto smelting. So that way I can just let my auto smelter do its job. I don't have to worry about it. This is my house. It's come together pretty nicely. It was just a throw together of a design, and it worked out pretty cool. I like how it turned out. In terms of this is my cow farm. It's a gumball machine that spits out cows. So all I have to do is just activate it, put in some wheat up top to breed them, drop it below, and they all spit out here at the bottom. It's adorable, and I love it. I'll run it once. It's definitely one of my favorite little farms. Let's see. There we go. There we go. That's enough wheat. Well, I can go out this way. Alright, so first I gotta do is clear out the cows. So that way I can get more cows. There we go. Oh, I broke a flower. Where'd I break the flower? There he is. Alright, so Mr. Flower's back in his place. It is a strange gumball machine, but it works really well. There we go. And I think that's all of them. They all good? Yeah, they're pretty much good. And then we just let their babies fall. And they all come out the bottom. And then they all just go to the back because they want to hide by their parents, but they can't really do much there. It's super adorable because I planned on doing something very similar to how I ended up designing it. I had to change it just like a little bit, but it worked out really, really close to what I was envisioning, which is super cool. I love it. Ended up being a little more of a compact gumball machine, but hey, you know what? I like it. Turned out well. So let me go grab some more rockets. I will head back over to what I was building and designing. Keep at it. Or you know what? If you guys want, I can show off... You know what? I'll go ahead and show off the little gold farm. Because I think that's probably one of the more interesting ones that I have set up at the moment. At least visually interesting. It gives you something to take a look into. So I have to reconnect. Unfortunately, there's a bug that I can't actually fly with elytras immediately from switching dimensions, so yeah. Gotta reconnect. And then this is my gold farm. I built this, and I still have to finish it. Did I bring any blocks with me? I did. But I didn't bring any of these blocks. Sad. Oh well. Let me turn down my audio. Because otherwise you're going to be hearing... Well, you'll find out what you're going to be hearing. But anyways, it's pretty efficient. And by pretty efficient, I mean it's ridiculous. I absolutely love this thing. So let's go back up here and start it up. Essentially, the whole premise of this is that I have these guys that I piss off, and I have guys on the outside that are just standing by themselves. So when I get these guys all mad, then everyone just starts coming in, and they kill themselves. And here they come. And they all just jump into these minecarts, essentially, that are stacked up by 24 minecarts per section. And basically it just insta-kills them like it's fall damage, which means I get XP, plus all of the rest of it goes down below. So gold swords, gold nuggets, rotten flesh, all of it goes down below. The gold swords go into like a blast furnace, and they produce more gold nuggets. So, yeah. I know, it's great. I would totally turn up the volume for you, you know, so you can listen to the beautiful sounds of death. But no, no, it gets very loud, very obnoxious from the zombie pigmen as well as the carts. But in terms of XP, this thing will generate you a ridiculous amount of XP really fast. For example, if I killed myself, came back here, and went to get XP, I could get up to like level 50 within like a minute or two. It's stupid fast on XP grind. And in terms of gold farm, it's pretty efficient. These guys are just killing themselves, new ones spawn in, and they immediately get aggroed and come over here. There are some that lag behind a little bit, like that guy, but there's like the ones up there that are lagging behind. But if I do a little jumping, they should get aggroed. Oh wait, is that the side without a guy? Yeah, that's the side that I still have to fill in. That makes sense why they're not getting aggroed then. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I have mending tools and such, so they just instantly mending armor, so it just instantly repairs everything. I didn't even know, but on the go, if you're using mending, you can actually just shift and right click, and it'll fix or repair any damage to a mending weapon by taking it from your XP bar. I don't know if that's a mod or if that's like actually how mending functions, but I think that's how mending functions. So kind of cool. But yeah, so I'll let those guys finish out with their whole death that whole thing they got going on. One thing I had to check. Okay, cool. So I can do the minecart thing with my other farm. I need to change up my other farm. It doesn't kill as efficiently. It just lets things stack up until they start building up and either killing each other or until they start just dying when I bring a sword over. So that one's not as efficient, but I think I can improve some of these farms. Is there something getting stuck is what I want to know. No, it's all clear. Has it really been handling this super well? What in the world? Yeah, it has been. Or have these guys not been dropping swords? That's what I'm wondering, because usually these fill up with swords really fast. Like this. Oh, no, it's just been efficient. Okay, I'll take it. You know what? That's fine. How's this chest doing? It's out of... Okay, so the chests are out, but I assume those hoppers have some... Yeah, I'm going to assume that those hoppers actually have some stuff in them. But yeah, so if I sit there a while, you know, it's a good, easy way to just AFK and let things grab. Let things build up. Did any of the shitter spawn? No. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm good. I'm going to go back down and continue working on my my other thing. What's the compost above the hoppers? I don't actually know 100% of what that's for. So I'd be under the impression that organics... Oh no, I'm sorry. No, piglins, don't jump to your death. Oh, well, I can't really help them there. Please tell me that guy didn't jump. He didn't. Okay, good. So the composters, I would be under the impression that there'd be some kind of organics that you can compost. And that's why they're there. That's what I would think they would be for, at least, because like these ones up here are right below hoppers, so they're meant to take from hoppers based on what I can tell. Now, what they would be composting, I don't know. Like, I don't think that this version of Minecraft has anything that it could compost. And I don't know their purpose. So I'm not sure. These ones right here, I don't think are used for anything. Like, what could they possibly be used for that would need to be composted? And then what bone meal would go through a blast furnace? What does bone meal even do in a blast furnace? And on top of that, these ones at the very end, what are they for? Because, like, what's the point of them? So I'm not entirely certain. And maybe it does make the hoppers faster. Actually, oh, that's actually a very good point. I don't know if it does. It might. Actually, no, that's actually a very valid point, because I don't think that they'd have any other use. And they are only on top of any of the open hoppers. So that's actually very valid. Which means I probably could do that for the ones up top. Like, do that along these rows. But in all honesty, I think I'll leave them as is, because I don't want anything spawning up here. I kind of need it all to spawn above. Are these guys still going to be mad at me? No? Okay, cool. That means I can just come up top. Cool. So one of the things I have to do is I still have to replace the zombie 4. Oh, never mind. They are pissed at me. I was like, what's that sound? What could this be? It's the Navy. It's the Navy attacking. Alright, I'm gonna let them do their thing. They're having fun, you know. I think it's time for me to go. I guess I gotta finish out this wall, so that way I don't have to deal with the blaze... What are they called? Blaze Guardians, I think is the name. They are a pain in the butt. Alright, so let's go ahead and teleport out of here. What I'll do is I will go back to Ender Slimes. There's nothing interesting there. I'll go to my XP farm just so you can see what that's all about. So this was the original XP farm. Well, not the original. This is one of the first XP farms that I made. I worked with someone else to make this, but I ended up making at least the pathways myself. Where'd you get that block from? That's okay. Yeah, you can keep it. I'm not going to take it from you. That's fine. It's your block. But essentially, we found a dungeon in here that had a bunch of zombie spawners all over the place and skeleton spawners. So we came in here and made a farm out of that. That's why I hate gravel. New gravel is terrible. But essentially, we came in and made a farm out of it. The spawners that were already in here. So I have a system that essentially a waterway that will run the one that spawns over here, down here, all the way through. And then, of course, all the other ones as well. You can kind of see it on the mini-map. There is a place for each of these guys that'll just run them down. And it brings every single spawner back to here. So that way they all spawn and drop down to the same area. So it is really cool. I need to add the minecarts there so that way it can just kill them for me. That'd be nice. But I still got to go through and do it. One of the other things I have to do, I already changed up the spawning system. So if I sit over here, for example, I'm only going to get skeleton spawns. Whereas if I stand over here, then I'm only going to get mass amounts of zombies spawning. So I actually can control what I'm getting in my farm, which is really cool. I don't actually have something to kill them with, so let me grab one of the swords that are complementary, of course. But this one turned out pretty well. Overall, I like the design. It's pretty efficient. It drops most of your XP to you, and just really nice. In terms of farming out bones or rotten flesh, it does a good job. There we go. And now it's just going to drop all that there. So yeah, it's pretty neat. There we go. So I will teleport back to my place now, and there we go. And then back to the mall I go. The rest of my stuff around this area is, it's interesting, it's neat. Little chicken farm right over here. And then I think the only other one that I would say is really cool is, honestly, the auto sorter. It turned out really nicely. The front end of it's very clean, other than like a few things. It's pretty clean. You just have your input chest, so you put whatever you want in there, and it'll end up here, coming out there. So let's take a look here. This is what the guts of the farm look like, other than above, where you're going to have all your stuff growing in terms of bamboo. That fills up these chests to basically have infinite amount of fuel. You have 2 minecarts that run along these tracks based on when you filled up items, and then they'll fill up all of these 32 furnaces pretty evenly. So it's nice when you do large stacks of items, it's very efficient. And then these 2 minecarts, which grab the items that are finished and bring them back to the final chest. And they do it pretty well. So overall, very efficient farm. Very efficient smelting system. And it kind of produces at a block every 2 seconds, I'd say. So its production rate is pretty high, at least for what it is. And then, of course, I just have some flying machines going in here that will clear out all the bamboo. I have them stopped at the moment because I don't need any additional bamboo, but I'll usually run them if I'm running the actual smelter. So overall, it's turned out really nicely. I've been enjoying this. Farm? Farm? No, it's not a farm. It's a lifestyle. Listen, Llama, we do different kinds of farming here. You gotta understand, it's not about farming vegetables. That's cool and all, but like, you gotta get past it. you got to get over into that corn. The corn business, that's where it's really at. You know, you got to get that production up. All right, so let's get back over to the mall here. There we go. And I'm probably going to go ahead and finish out this ceiling. I think I'm just going to stick with the basic style of ceiling of this for the first floor, because I don't think I got to go fancy with it. I think this can be something that's sort of simple. Not much to worry about in that regard. And then I think what I'll work on next would, of course, be that villager breeder, so I can actually get them set up, at least get this first floor done in terms of filling it in with villagers and getting them all set up and ready to go. And then from there I can kind of figure out, you know, how do I want to structure that second floor? How do I want to make that look? And I'm probably going to mimic this floor, realistically. I don't think that I need to do much. I think just kind of mimicking what I've done here on the bottom floor is going to be nice. I don't think I'm going to change the style of terracotta. Like, I don't think I'm going to do a light gray or anything like that. So, probably just going to mimic what I got going on. Turning corn into cornbread, getting the bread gamer. Yeah, exactly, you know? You just got to keep up the cornbread production. There we go. Hey, listen, honestly, my other farm is getting that bread. I'm just saying, it has stacks of bread, and I don't need stacks of bread for anything. So, other than villager breeding, actually, that's pretty useful to have bread for. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So that's coming along. I'm almost done with the roofing. Turning oats into flour, into bread, into farm... Wait, what? Hold on. In farm sim? Oh, so you're on the oats. You're all about the oats. I see how it is. Gotta go for that oat conversion. But have you invested in oat coin? I don't think so. I really doubt you've invested in oat coin. You know, oat coin is a hot new thing. Right, so only some of this looks bad. I'll probably go through and fill in these this upper section here with slabs, but I'm not going to worry about it for the time being. There we go. Wow, I am definitely going to need a lot more half slabs than just this. There we go. Let's see. Cut sandstone. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'll do one more. Yeah, screw it. Let's do all of them. Well, actually, this is going to double my inventory space, so... Do I really want to do that many? Probably not. I could do one more set. I hope I use this many, because I'm turning a lot of this into this. How many people play on this server? Only, I would say about... maybe 10 at most. At most. Probably about 5 is your average. People that actively play on this server, probably like 2 or 3. More like 1, honestly. I'm like one of the only people that play daily, but I'm not in their time zone, so I don't actually know when they're on and I'm not, for example. Like they're AUS, so Australian. More specifically, Eastern AUS, so I don't actually play at the same time as them. A lot of times I'm playing either when they're waking up or when they're going to bed, which is, opposite time zone. So doesn't quite make it easy to say, "Hi, how you doing?" Most of the time I end up playing by myself for the majority of this. But it is pretty enjoyable. I do like endgame Minecraft. I think it's very unique. I've never really dabbled in it a tiny bit, but barely. So having the chance to experience it entirely fresh is really cool. And it gets a lot more crazy than what I've been doing. I've just been making farms to make one thing that is my major project happen. People do much crazier shit than what I'm doing. Much more efficient as well. So it gets nuts. Endgame Minecraft gets a little nuts. And I can't wait to be able to go through and do my first perimeter. I'm wanting to do that for one of my farms eventually. I'm not sure what I'm going to do a farm for to do a perimeter. Maybe a witch farm, possibly. I think that'd be a fun first one. But I don't know. I'll have to see. I think a perimeter is a lot to ask for any farm, honestly. So I'll have to take it into consideration when I go to actually make something. Because a perimeter will take me months to make. For context, what a perimeter is it's taking an area and entirely clearing out all of the blocks within that area. Usually people make them a few hundred blocks long. So that would be like what I've made about 2 times the size of my my storage section, my auto sorter, about 2 times the size of this in length. That's usually the size people make perimeters. So it'd be like 2 of those, and then it would be, well, about 4 times the size of this as a whole. And then they'll dig all the way down to bedrock and glass up the entire floor so nothing can spawn, and then set up their farms for whatever it is, whether it be a fish farm, whether it be a witch farm, creeper farm, skeleton farm, zombie farm. But they're super efficient. Or even storage systems, honestly, because sometimes they can get so laggy that you have to set up a perimeter to make them just playable. Because otherwise there's other blocks loaded in the area that you can't really deal with, because you're already putting in a lot when it comes to whatever your farm is doing or whatever your system is doing. I've seen auto crafters that will lag your game heavily, that actually go through and do these massive amounts of crafting. For example, there's like auto TNT crafters, which are crazy. Your player basically just sits AFK with a script running, and you can just basically craft shit tons of TNT or whatever you want, really. So there's a lot you can do in this game, and it's kind of crazy what people are willing to spend time doing and what they actually put in work to make happen. All right, let me go to sleep so nothing starts spawning on my farm or my mall. What I'm doing is I'm starting to dabble in that end game, and it has been very enjoyable, but definitely a lot of work. Now, in terms of this server as well, by the way, it is a friend server, so keep in mind it's going to be kind of local in that regard. However, if it is something you'd like to join in on, I can absolutely reach out and see if a server owner minds at all. So if that is something you're interested in and you want to join in and kind of get a feel for what's going on in this server, yeah, feel free to just let me know. I can always see if we have a spot available. I'm sure the server owner doesn't mind. He basically just wants people to be able to play this server, so he's like, as long as people are playing, he'll keep it running, which is good. That means that, at least for me, given the project and the scale of the projects I'm working on, it'll be a long time before I stop playing on this server. If I continue those projects, of course. Which is my plan and my intent. So, we'll see. There we go. I'm very happy with the projects I've been able to complete so far. They've been kind of teaching me how endgame Minecraft is actually going to work. and kind of understanding more about where that takes me. And endgame Minecraft really is all about the farms and the things you can create on a massive scale. It can be complex redstone contraptions. It can be simply building together a massive city. It could be putting together a town. It could be anything, honestly. That's one of the crazy things. These nutty farms. I mean, there's so much you can do that it's really cool to see what people do with endgame Minecraft. I mean, gosh, there's a whole community dedicated to making Earth in Minecraft. And they have absolutely already done a fantastic job with where they've worked on. They've worked globally all over the world, working on different parts, Germany, Brazil, US. It's nuts. But essentially, that's kind of an example of what endgame Minecraft kind of looks like. Kind of looks like, what do you want to do with your time now that you've gotten the survival aspect completely down? And how do you want to shape your time? Whether that be something in survival, creative, whatever. Now, I will say survival mode is probably one of my favorites with Minecraft, because there's the aspect that you have to keep yourself alive, and there's this aspect that you have to kind of overcome with the initial hours of your playtime, where you're trying to get stuff and you're trying to get set up and you're trying to get a base, get things going, farms, whatever. And then there's that aspect of freedom once you get past that point, where you can do these crazy builds and you're still in a vulnerable state where you can die to anything. But even those deaths become a little less meaningful in terms of the cost. But each one can have its own impact. For example, if you have all your gear and you die, in this server it's much easier, because it drops a totem that doesn't despawn. I think it's considered an item, so I'm sure it has a time limit to it, but I haven't seen it despawn yet, and I've spent lots of time away from it, waiting to come back and try and find my totem. So it's pretty interesting. This server has a little less on the death ramifications. You absolutely just don't lose items. You lose XP. You lose a lot of XP, but you don't lose items. So that's kind of nice. There we go. And getting back to your stuff is usually the only problem that you'll face past the point of, you know, the initial bit. So I think this is good. What I want to do now, since I have a lot of extra sandstone, is I want to just start filling in the overheads for these sections, because I think that's going to be helpful. And I don't think it's going to hurt me to do this. So yeah, I just want to start filling in these overheads, making sure that gets taken care of. And then I think what I'm going to do after I do this portion is I want to start working on those villagers. Let me actually throw up... Can I introduce that schematic to... Yeah, I think OBS will let me throw up the schematic, so let me grab it real fast. And I will pull this one up for you, because I'll show you an example of what I have set up, at least planned for this mall section. Where is it? There we go. Alrighty, so I'll transition the scene, and there you go. So this is the schematic that I have planned. And this is what I'm working on with this mall, is I want to do the first floor, the first set, so 68, that's how many can fit in this first left and right portion. That's what's going to be Fletcher's. I want to make them really cheap, really easy to buy from and sell to, mainly sell to, and essentially that's just going to get me anything I need when it comes to emeralds. Cartographers, they're going to be decent. I can sell paper to them, so, you know, pretty decent stuff in glass. So I'm not really worried about selling them too much, but having them as an option is going to be nice. Possibly buying from them, maybe. Farmers and shepherds, I kind of lumped them together because I don't need a lot of them, but I think having them is still a good thing. I probably will have a lot less shepherds than farmers, but I might just split them 50-50 and have like 16 of each, maybe 17 of each. In terms of clerics, they're going to be my final section on the first floor. So the first set that I have to make is Fletchers, Shepherds, Farmers, Cartographers, and Clerics. That's going to allow me to just fill up this bottom section. Fletchers and Clerics will definitely take up the majority because I have farms that are dedicated to be able to sell to those two types, and that's why they're going to be sets of 68 each, and the other guys are going to be usually smaller. Floor 2 is going to be Librarians. They're going to get a set of 68 because I know there's 40 enchantments in the game that are regular, and then there's additional ones that I have that are modded. So I have to make sure that I count for both of them. So that should cover all of the enchantments available. I'll be able to just spend a lot of time trying to get those guys set up, but once I have them set, I can buy whatever books I need for enchanting. Stonemasons, those are going to be helpful for me. I have another set of 68 there because it's super easy for me to buy the quartz block, which I'm going to use a ton of. So having 68 of them to buy from is going to be very, very helpful. I think I can get at least a full inventory off of that. Fishermen, I'll be able to just pretty much sell things to them for the most part. That's kind of what they're there for. I'm not really going to buy too terribly much from them. Maybe something here and there, but I doubt they're going to be much for buying. And weaponsmiths. Weaponsmiths are great to sell to if you have like an iron farm, which I do plan to set up. Then yeah, they're going to be very helpful to have. The iron farm is an interesting one as well because it is definitely endgame, but it also can be achieved earlier on, which is really cool. It's one of those ones that's a really cool farm, especially if you need a lot of iron. It will produce a decent amount, and it also teaches you how to do chunk loading, because in order to keep that farm running, you have to be chunk loading multiple areas, such as the Nether and the Overworld. So it's pretty neat. But transitioning back, I will jump back into the game, and let's continue. But yeah, Endgame Minecraft has a lot of cool concepts. So like I said, if you guys want to get involved with this server, like I said, it's an Australian server, so ping might not be the best. In terms of lag, you might experience some, and if that's the case, apologies. For me, I don't know why, but I guess my internet's just good enough that I haven't been experiencing much, so whatever, it works. I don't complain about that. I know that at least Llama's tried it out, and unfortunately for him, it didn't work as well, so that's alright though. But yeah, if you want to get involved, just let me know. I'm definitely going to be working at this for a long time, at least this server. That's my plans are too. So seeing how it evolves over time is going to be really cool, and being able to do these farms, I absolutely would love the help. My anticipation, of course, is that I'm probably going to be working on these farms for quite a while. That's kind of the idea of them as well, is that these do take a while, and they are projects. But in order to achieve my major project, I have to do these little projects if I want to make it easier to achieve that major project. So ironically, in order to get that major project done, I'm having to divert my energy into doing other things. Yeah, I know. Internet just dies. There we go. You know, I realized that my audio has been cut down for a while, so apologies. There we go. I probably need to do that before things start spawning up top. This is a big enough structure that things will start spawning on other sides of it that I'm not standing on. But luckily I didn't light up all the other areas, so there's no reason for them to only spawn there. Alright, there we go. I will say one of the things that I really like with the permanent wings specifically is the fact that I don't have to repair them. I think that having to repair your elytra is kind of dumb. I get it, but at the same time, it kind of takes away from the elytra itself. As well, being able to have them on your back and still have a chest piece is really nice. Because then I don't have to worry about that chest piece. Like missing it. Means I can have my variety of protection, whether that be, you know, protection, fire protection, blast protection, and projectile. Woo! That's a win-win to get the full set of at least one of each type. Kind of wish there was an easy way to transfer my villagers over here, the ones that I've already done the enchantments on, because I know that that's going to take a hot minute. But in all honesty, I think that there's no simple way for me to do it other than trying to go through the nether. And I don't think that's going to be very fun to do. So I'm probably just going to do a new set of villagers with this town and then just farm it out. It usually only takes me 10, 20 minutes to get a villager to whatever I need them to be enchantment-wise. So at 10, 20 minutes per villager, that's not the worst conversion rate. The farmers are going to be the most annoying because farmers decide that, hey, I want to be able to sell and buy all sorts of modded types of fruits and vegetables. And I really haven't dabbled in any of the mods here. I actually have stayed away from most of the mods on purpose just because I like the vanilla experience. And even though I'm saying that while wearing wings that are modded, you know, and using a mini-map and using all these things that are modded, I still like the feel of the vanilla experience, having to solve problems without using machinery. That does it way easier. Having to solve storage issues and capacity of auto-sorting without doing a machine that's just going to sit as a computer to be able to store everything. I think that that's just more entertaining for me, and that's usually why I kind of go this route. Because those computers and such, from like ME and all that, that could be so easy to pull off, comparatively. I could set up those systems very easily, and I've done it in the past with other mods. But I think that the challenge of course, chasing down and trying to set up a storage system that's automatic, that's vanilla, is really, really cool to face. There's a lot more complexity to it, and it's just that. It's a challenge, honestly. Both in terms of quantity of resources you have to put into it, as well as having to solve problems. Like, for example, I can't just run water over hoppers, because if I do that, items get stuck. Or items don't get sucked in. Or items just don't want to work. Which is interesting. I can't run items over ice with water, because then items don't go where they're supposed to. They don't get sucked in by the hoppers. That's too fast for the hoppers to pick them up. So I have to do a combination. I have to add in blocks that are just slightly smaller than block sizes, so that way the items have a reason to be over the hoppers without being over the hoppers. Interesting things like that. So here we go. Looks like this is done. Perfect, perfect. And I think this is going to be my first floor pretty much completed. Other than, of course, you know, doing doors and things to make this look a little bit better. And doing my elevators. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's not bad. I think what I'll do next is I'll start working on the villagers, and I'll start getting them set up. So let's put this back. That's good. That gives me plenty of materials for my next floor as well. So I'm probably going to work on the villagers when I get back. I'm going to go eat some food, and then I'll probably come back. I don't think I'm going to continue streaming for tonight. I think I'm going to like call it there, and then probably just keep on keeping on whenever I'm done with schoolwork and things. But yeah, these guys are going to be doing a lot of work here in the coming days. So I got to make myself a villager breeding chamber, so that way I can get them all set up and make sure the kids pop out the bottom. And yeah, then I'll be moving on to filling in these sections with villagers. But I appreciate you guys coming and watching the stream tonight. I'm going to go ahead and go enjoy some food. And you guys have a wonderful night. If you need anything, let me know. Ba-da-ba-ba-dum-bum.